Hi there, welcome to Life Unscripted with Coach Kanye. I am Coach Kanye, and today we are going to be talking about trauma-informed life coaching. What is a trauma-informed life coach? Why is it necessary for you to get one? And how do these coaches work different from those coaches that are not trauma-informed? So as you know, if you don't know, I am currently traveling. I am right now in Cusco, Peru, and it is fantastic. Be on the lookout on Sunday, where I am going to be telling you about all things traveling while Black, woman, African, queer. I've connected the two. So Thursdays or Friday, you are going to be getting life coaching content. You're going to be getting mindset coaching content. And then Sundays, you are going to be getting traveling content. And I'm really, really excited that this is what's happening on this channel. Thank you for being here. So let's get into it. What is a trauma-informed life coach? Now, you know what trauma is, right? We all think about trauma in terms of the big things that happen to us. We think about that one thing that you're like, holy shit, this was a traumatic experience. We always think about the big T trauma. But trauma can also be those small things that happen, the small comments that people make that make us question ourselves, that make us doubt ourselves. There's also relational trauma. I've had clients who are like, I did not have a traumatic childhood, but the relationship that I was in, the romantic relationship I was in, the betrayal was traumatic, the lying was traumatic, the cheating was traumatic, being made to feel small. If you are someone who has been with a narcissist, you know exactly what that feels like. That relational trauma is so important as well in terms of how do I choose to heal. So I want you to kind of like, don't think about trauma as, well, I've never been in a car accident, or I've never been sexually assaulted, or your parent abandoning you. And sometimes that parental abandonment is not just that they have left your presence. It's like they are here, but they're emotionally checked out. So you have experienced emotional abandonment. And when you look at your romantic relationships, you go, I partner with people who tend to abandon me. Now, a trauma-informed coach, when you talk about, say you go and see a relationship coach and you go and see a trauma-informed relationship life coach, the questions that they're asking are not about what's wrong with you, let's try to get you a perfect partner, and because that process is so external. A lot of the times, if you are not working with a trauma-informed coach, they are going to fix things or try to fix things that are external without looking at the root of the issue. The reason trauma-informed coaching is so important is when you have a wound and you just bandage over it without opening it, seeing where it comes from, and beginning that healing process from understanding the wound and cleaning it from there. You are just going to be repeating patterns. That is what motivation is. I'm sorry. Motivation doesn't look at your trauma. Some of us are working with motivational speakers as life coaches. Oops. Well, I said that. Some of us are working with motivational speakers as life coaches. And listen, that will help you for the duration of the program. But what happens after the program? The reason that trauma-informed coaching is so important is you are given the tools to understand why you are the way you are. I did that work for myself as well. I came out about 14 years ago. I lived in South Korea, and I remember coming out and being like, yeah, I am authentic now, and I'm queer, and thought everything else, like I'm gonna own my truth, I'm gonna defend my truth. What I wasn't prepared for was the trauma that came with carrying that weight and that hiding and that secrecy. I wasn't prepared for undoing the shame that I learned from church. I was not prepared for undoing the self-confidence, the ability to own my story without feeling that little bit of actually a lot bit of internalized homophobia. And part of my healing journey in therapy and sometimes with life coaches has been, what happened to me? Why do I have these limiting beliefs? Where do they come from? Who told me that? And that is what a trauma-informed coach asks you. And that is where they try. And here's the thing. I did a video before. I'm going to link it on here. What's the difference between a life coach and a therapist? I break it down in this video. Please go check it out. But a trauma-informed coach is able to say, let me hear a little bit of that childhood story so that I can understand the shit that you're carrying from that story so that I can give you the tools to move forward. For example, when I work with clients who struggle with limiting beliefs, say you have this limiting beliefs that you are going to fail at everything that you do. Now, if I was a motivational life coach, now don't get me wrong, your girl I can motivational speak all day, every day. But when I work with my clients, I want them to feel empowered post-coaching. I don't want my clients to constantly need me. My favorite thing is when a client is like, this has been the best 3 months. I will see you maybe next year, but I think I'm good. I love that. Now, when you work with a life coach that understands your trauma and understands your story and asks you questions about your story, you are then able to have compassion for yourself. That is why you need to work with a trauma-informed life coach, because we help you tap into that compassion. Because we show you that the things you have been through are the things that have made you who you are. I had a client yesterday, actually, who said to me, I'm just like this. And in session, as I kept asking her questions, I was like, tell me about your relationship with your parents. Tell me about the relationships that your parents had with each other. And she was like, I don't understand why this has something to do with how I relationship. And as we were digging deep, the biggest compliment was when she went, I have been in therapy for so long, but this has never come up. I have never been able to connect my patterns in relationships to my mother wound. That is what a trauma-informed coach is able to help you do. Make those connections, okay? And another thing is like, we are so good at creating a container for your pain, a container for your story, a container for this person that you are now, the things that happen to make the person that you are, and also give you the tools to move to being the person that you want to be. Some of us are so deeply engrossed in our trauma that we don't even know who we are. And for me, as a trauma-informed coach, to be able to help you get to know and get clear on who you are, I need to know that story. I need to know that trauma. I need to know that pain. I need to know the things that happened to you. Some of you are sitting there being like, I have these big goals and I have these big dreams. And you think, well, they're not happening because I'm lazy. Baby, you are not just lazy. Something happened to you. Something happened to you. There is a deeply held belief that is tied to your trauma that created what you now call a lazy person. This is why you have no follow through. You don't just have no follow through because you're a procrastinator. Something happened to you. Something happened to you that makes you feel scared. A parent started a business. Oh man. Let me take a break because a lot of people have experienced this one, and it is something that has been holding you back. You watched your parent lose everything. You watched a parent lose their businesses. You watched a parent lose their marriage. You watched a parent go from like being on the top of their game to struggling to put food on the table. You watched someone you looked up to. You watched them completely disintegrate. And now, because you witnessed that, and that is called secondary trauma, you witnessed that. And you then thought to yourself, child you, oh, I should not work to get good things because good things get taken from me. I should not work to fulfill my dreams because it's going to get taken away from me. Good things get taken away from me. You create this story based on watching someone that you love go through this. And if you don't understand the impact, if you don't understand the impact of watching someone you love go through something that traumatic and witnessing that and having that secondary trauma live in your body, I suggest you read The Body Keeps the Score. I'm going to link it on here as well. Please buy it on this link because this helps me with my Amazon store as well. Also, I would really, really love it if you subscribed to my channel. Thank you so much. We are growing. What I am hoping happens for you here is that you take a look at your own life. You take a look at your lack of self-confidence. You take a look at your lack of self-love. You take a look at your at your quickness, at the speed at which you self-abandon. If you take a look at all these things and you stop going, what is wrong with me? And you ask, what happened to me? And allow yourself to sit in that discomfort of looking at the things that happened to you and that created the person that you are today. And you invite that self-compassion. I remember saying this to my client yesterday. I said, I want you to invite that self-compassion because what you figured out today is that you're not just an empath. You're not just someone who overloves. You're not just someone who works. My client said, I have this feeling that I need to perform and work for love. And that's because that's how my relationship with my mom is, as if I have to earn her love. So I took that earning of love for a parent, brought into how I relationship in romantic relationships and friendships as well. Like I have to earn these people's love. And when you can look at what happened to you, know that from that knowledge, you can draw the strength, you can draw the courage, you can draw the will to create the life that you want because you have it in you. Because I promise you, you do have it within you. And if you want to work with a trauma-informed coach, I would love to work with you. It would be an honor to work with you. I am going to link my calendar on here where you can book a consultation call and we can see if you and I can work together. Thank you for being here. Please stay and continue to be kind to yourself. Have a good one.